I'm Tia, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. It's a very sparkly day today. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1913, a Shake It Up Saturday. Yep. Just like, just an extra little bit of sparkle. I had this on most of the day this morning anyway. So how was your Shake It Up Saturday? Shake It Up Saturday is the day when things don't go according to plan, or they might go according to plan, but in a different way that you thought that they would. Which I kind of guess is not going to plan, isn't it? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, I'm so fired up today. And I've had a nap, so I'm even more on fire. And I've got my sparkles on, so we are ready to rock and roll. Even though it is the evening, we just came back from our walk like not even 5 minutes ago. No, I did not wear my tiara while I was out walking. But anyway, it is Shake It Up Saturday, and my Shake It Up day started off with our mastermind group today meeting, and that was a lot of fun. We had a great mastermind today. We went around the room on Zoom, and everybody introduced that we had new members, so everybody got to introduce themselves to the new members, said what they did, who our ideal referrals are, who we're looking to connect with right now. So, in any aspect of business, you always have different groups of people that you want to connect with. And this is an opportunity to say, hey, right now, I really need an introduction to, and you put it out there. So I got to do that too. And it was a very rewarding day, a very enlightening day. I got to learn new things about some of the people in our mastermind group that I didn't know before. So got lots of notes taken. Yes, my poor wrist at the end of the day was a little on the sore side from all the writing of notes that I did. I write faster than I can type. So everyone goes, why don't you just type the notes? Because 1, it doesn't stick, and 2, I write faster than I type. And 3, if I'm typing, I always want to go back and correct the errors. Whereas if I am writing, if I misspell it while I'm writing, I don't care. I just keep on going. But if I'm typing, there's a thing that when I'm typing, if I make a mistake, I have to go back and correct it. And then I've totally lost where I am with everybody else. So it is always better for me to have a pen in my hand writing on paper. And that way it sticks a lot better. It sticks up here. So it was a very, very good day. Great session today that we had with the mastermind group. A lot of aha moments with people and surprises about what people have done for past jobs, when they've had past jobs or businesses, things that they have done. It was just a really good, enlightening day, which was awesome. I loved it. I had so much fun with it. And one of the things I asked for, I says, this is a bit of a strange request, but, I asked for somebody that could help me compose music for my song. And I've already got several people going, yep, I can connect you with this person, I can connect you with this person, blah, 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 blah. So I already have people coming out saying, yes, let's get you connected with people that can help you with your song. And whether or not I will sing it or get somebody else to sing it for me, I don't know. But I just know that I have these words that are written down on a piece of paper, a very rough first draft. And I'm even trying to get a melody in my head to go with the words. And some parts I can and some parts I can't. I can't make the words fit. So it's like, okay, maybe I need to look at these words and change them around a little bit. But, once I get with somebody who can write the music to go with the lyrics, magic's going to happen. The right words will fall into the right places at the right time with the right notes, and it will sound amazing. Will I sing it or not? I don't know. Well, I will sing it around the house. Will I sing it in public? I don't know. I've only sung in public solo 3 times in my life. And yeah, they weren't that great. But anyway, so Shake It Up Saturday is a good day to get out of routine, to do things that you don't normally do. I didn't want to get over to the RV today, but it was a little on the warm side. So I said no, because I really didn't want to be stuck in a hot RV trying to get stuff done. So I get stuck in a hot RV, I typically just want to go and lay on the bed and go to sleep, which is kind of what I ended up doing today. Anyway. Oh my goodness. But yeah, there was a lot of information thrown at us today. And, there was a lot of teachable moments that were in there as well. And really got drilled in the importance of language. What language are you using when you are talking about your business? And that was a very good lessons in that. There was a couple of really good, there was some really good coaching times in there as well. We all got coached in a way, some longer than others, but we all got the coaching that we needed at that point in time, which was awesome. So I got a ton of notes I have to go back through and type them up so that I can read them a little clearer. Because sometimes, my handwriting is pretty good, but there are days that I can't even read my own writing because I'm just writing so fast. And that's okay. It's just one of those days. It's just one of those things. It's just, move past it. And what was really funny this morning, though, is that I woke up after I woken up and stuff, and I got up and got moving. My phone came on, and there was a message there from my brother, and he said, "Oh, this house is just down the street from Mum and Dad for sale." I go, "Yeah, I know." I said, "But this is the reason I don't like that house." I said, "The house is fantastic, the yard's fantastic. The only problem is that the fence is too short. It's like anybody walking, and it's a really nice house. It is literally just down the street from my parents." It would take them less than 5 minutes to walk to my house. About 5 minutes to walk to the house. And they knew exactly where it was. As soon as they saw it, you go, "Yep, we know exactly where it was. We see it every time we go into the thing." It's got no backyard, and it doesn't have a backyard. It has a side yard. And the side yard is set up really cool. Like it's out on a beachy thing. It's got this gazebo. It's got this outdoor kitchen area. Very nice yard and everything else. The only problem is that the fence is like about 4 foot high. And it means anybody walking past, driving past, or cycling past, or running past anything can see into the yard. And the other thing I didn't like is that at the end of the yard, there were these 2 double gates. And I'm sort of like, yeah, no. Like the owners obviously use that double gate to bring things onto property like trailers or campers and things like that, which I have no problem with, but I want a fully secured fence backyard. And by fully secured, I mean a fence that's at least minimum 6 to 7 foot high. It has to be that, because I don't want people walking past while I'm having fun with the dog in the backyard watching us. I don't live my life on display in that setting. If I go out in my backyard, I want the privacy. I want to be able to be out there and feel safe in my backyard and feel free to do what I want to do without having to worry about people looking over the fence as they walk past. But yeah, it was a beautiful house. And I told my brother, I says, yeah, I've seen that house. I love that house. The only thing is that I don't like, and I like the yard. The only thing is that the fence is too short. It was like a 4 foot high fence, and no. But it did have a really cool side. It doesn't really have much of a backyard. It's just a very narrow backyard, but the side yard, it was awesome. It was an awesome side yard, just the fence was too short. So I said, so we'll just keep looking. And I said, and they have this this website in New Zealand called Trade Me, and you sell anything on Trade Me. It's kind of like Craigslist, but a little more secure, from what I can see. And so I said to my parents, "Can I use your address to have an account?" They said, "I'll just use our account." I went, "Okay." So and my brother, I'm actually Mum and Dad's account. I'm doing my shopping in there and looking around and checking things out and seeing what's what and what's where, and checking to see what the housing market is like, what prices are like, what the houses look like. And I actually fell in love with this. Really fell in love with this one house, and it sold on October the 6th. And so I was a little bummed about that. And it's like any other house I look at, if it doesn't, and this one was like ideal. It was perfect. It had everything that I needed. From what I could tell from the photographs, and from the photographs, I was able to kind of work out a rough layout of the house, of how it laid out. And it was a great layout, and it had a beautiful big backyard area that Zephyr would have no problems running around in, completely safe. And I wouldn't have to worry. And like the fences all came down to the ground. And I guess if she decided to dig, she could get under eventually. But keep her occupied. She won't be able to do that. Didn't have a lot of garden there, which was great because I am not I don't have a green thumb, although I suspect that I will once I get to New Zealand. As I learn the ins and outs of looking after my own garden in my own yard. Lawns, I can mow those. That's not a problem. It's the plant things that are planted in the ground, and taking care of those. Never been very good at that. But and it wasn't that far from my parents' house either. So the place I'm looking at are usually pretty close to my parents, so within a 30-minute walk of their house, or like less than a 10-minute car drive, most of them. But it gives me a good idea of what there is, good sense out there what there is. And there's one that was literally around the corner from my parents' house. And so I said, "Oh, this one looks really good. It's like around the corner from your house." And they went and had a look at it and went, "No." I went, "What's wrong?" I said, "Yes, the house looks great in the photographs and all that, but it's down a pipe stem. It's a very narrow pipe stem, And when we drove down there, we actually had to use the neighbors' driveways to turn around to come back out again. And I went, oh, and they said, and it doesn't have a view. And as you get older, you want to have a view. And I'm like thinking, no, I don't. But then I thought, Zeffie does. Zeffie likes to look out and see what's going on. She is like the watchdog of the neighborhood. When we're in the RV, where was her favorite place? Up there on the dashboard of the RV. It didn't matter if it was full sunshine and 120 degrees outside. She would be laying there in the sun. Thankfully, we had the UV screens on the outside of the window, which helped a little bit which helped control the temperatures inside a little bit. But that's where she liked to be, up there, looking out over everything, seeing who was coming, who was going. As dogs walked past, she would sit up and whine at them instead of say, hi, I'm here, say hello, hello. So I know that she wants to, and her favorite place in the mornings is when we come home, as I leave the front door open and I close the security screen and I put her bed in front of the security screen, and she will lay there all morning. Yep, she will lay there all morning and watch all the comings and goings. And it was a month ago when we had our last mastermind group. I'm sitting in here on the mastermind. Thankfully, I was on mute at the time, and she starts barking, like barking. Normally, she's done one bark and that's it, but this was like bark, and I was like, what the heck? And like, if anybody watched the replay, they'll see me suddenly go, what the heck was that? And then she comes in, she puts her front feet up on the windowsill, and she's, I'm like, what the heck are you doing? She has never barked like that before and hasn't done it since. But she sees these dogs walking past, these big dogs, and she'll be like, woof, and let them go past. But this time she just went to town on her barking. I was like, in the almost 5 years I've had her, she has never, ever done that. So that was kind of a surprise. And I thought, she's still surprising me. But that's okay. It's good to get shaken up every now and again because it keeps you creative. I've got all sorts of ideas running through my head. I haven't looked at my song today to see what changes I could possibly make or anything like that. I got some wording. I got some wording remixed on something that I said today, and I got challenged to try it in a different way. So instead of saying I play hide and seek with dead people, I play hide and seek with ancestors. I think that's what I want. Is that what I wrote down? Hang on. I had it here somewhere. Hang on. I think it was hide and seek with ancestors. I did write it down. I didn't write it there, but I know I wrote it down. Where did I write it? Oh, yeah, I play hide and seek with ancestors. That's really what it's genealogy. We play hide, and I did like using we play hide and seek with dead people until somebody pointed out to me that it sounds really cool, and yes, we can joke about it, but there are cultures where it's considered insensitive and disrespectful to make a joke like that. And I was like, oh, I never thought of that. So that's why you've got to watch your words. You've got to watch your language. So playing hide and seek with ancestors, that's a little more respectful, a little more friendly, and a little more, it's more respectful of those that have passed. But then my seventh cousin, he wants to move seventh cousin. He's a seventh cousin. Yeah, he put this thing up on his page that had, that you've got two parents, two parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 second great-grandparents, 32 third great-grandparents, 64 fourth great-grandparents, 128 fifth great-grandparents, 256 sixth great-grandparents, 512 seventh great-grandparents, 1,024 eighth great-grandparents. Hang on, I'm going to make sure I got my math right here. 1,024, 248 ninth. Hang on. Where did I put it? I know I've got it here somewhere. Hang on. One moment, please. I took a screenshot of it. I did. Yes, that's where I need to go. But then I was looking at these numbers on this thing, and I thought, when you add we'll put it this way, by the time you added it up, there was like 4, and I was like, that's what I say, 1,024, so 2,048 ninth great-grandparents, and 4,000 and, why is it not coming up? Hang on. Now, here we go. Oh, I was almost right on my numbers. Yeah, okay, so you got 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great-grandparents, 32 third-great-grandparents, 64 fourth-great-grandparents, 128 fifth-great-grandparents, 256 sixth-great-grandparents, 512 seventh-great-grandparents, 1,024 eighth great-grandparents, 2,048 ninth great-grandparents. I was doing good on my math. And then 4,904 10th great-grandparents. That is 12 generations. That has led to you being where you are today. And so if you add all of that up, it came to 8,188 ancestors that came together for you to be here today. And then if you really want to blow your mind, every 8,188 people that were in that 12 generations, each had their own 12 generations of 8,188 people. Now do the math on that one. I've got no idea how to figure that out. You have 8,188 parents within 12 generations, grandparents within 12 generations that came together so that you could be here today, which makes you a very unique and special person. So take advantage of the fact that you are unique, that you are special, that you are here for a reason, because 8,188 people behind over 12 generations, that's a lot of people. And then to think that each one of those had 8,188 people for them to be where they were in their place in time in history, so that you could then come into existence later on. I mean, just think about that. Think about that. That's just like, my mind's just gone. I mean, my mind went with the 8,188. And then when I suddenly realized that, well, hang on, each of those people would have had 8,188 in their 12 generations. And you don't stop at 12 generations. You keep going back. So that's a lot of people that collaborated, if you want to put it that way, collaborated for you to be here today. So you're carrying little pieces of every one of those 8,188 people and those beyond them within your system. That's all part of the DNA that gets handed down through generations. And some people go, but I'm from this bit, I'm from this area, but it's not showing up in my DNA. Yeah, because your DNA, yes, you may be, you may come from, your family may be Italian in that, but they may have come from somewhere first, and those are the DNA that's getting passed down through the generations, because there was actually no Italian blood mixed into you, or there was, but you're not getting that combination of sequence, because when parents come together, they give you each one gives you 23 chromosomes, and it's a random pick which 23 chromosomes you get from your parents. And that's why when you get siblings together doing DNA tests, that each one of them can be completely different. Some may show that they have Italian ancestry. Somebody else may show that you've got Scottish ancestry, and they're sort of like, well, hang on, this isn't adding up. But then when you look at your parents' DNA, you start getting the full picture. The more of your siblings you can get to do DNA testing, the more complete your picture is going to be with the DNA testing. And then if your parents and their siblings can do the DNA testing as well, same thing. You're starting to get more and more of a complete picture of where you have come from. And when it comes to doing the thing, like they just released a new update on Ancestry for DNA testing, for the DNA testing. And the bigger their pool gets, the more they have to draw from. And yes, they will update the results every now and again. I ended up with more. I got to go check now because I can't remember. Oh, get out of there. Oh, I got to log in. I did something really crazy the other day. 2 days ago, Thursday. Yeah, we're on. Oh, two-step verifications. I hate two-step verifications at times. They can be such a thing when you're trying to get logged in, and they say, oh. So the other day, I did something really, really crazy. My computer had been going slow on and off, and I thought it was my internet connection. And then I'm like looking at going, what's actually going on with my computer? And I did all the updates and everything else, and had cleared cache and cookies at times. But this time I went in, I did all my clearing of the cache, which I usually do, and that usually clearing cache and cookies for certain sites helps speed up that site. So then I did something really crazy. I deleted all my cookies. Like deleted every single one, because I'm going through and going, well, I haven't been in that site in 10 years. This one says I haven't been in that site for 9 years. What the heck's that doing there? And I thought, this is too much work. There is like screeds of sites there. Some of them I haven't been on in years. So I just went and I hit the button that said delete all cookies, which meant I got logged out of everything that I was logged into on the websites and stuff. And so now this is my first time logging into Ancestry since I've done that. But I will tell you, my computer has been running like clockwork. It's been awesome. Okay, so my new updates. Now, when I first got my DNA results back in 2017 or 18, it put me down as 25% Scottish, which was fine because I knew I had through genealogy, I have a very strong connection to Scotland. And so I thought, that's okay. Well, now it's got me at 47% English and Northwestern Europe. Although on this map, it's just showing the United Kingdom. 25% Cornish from Cornwall. 14% Scottish. So I've still got my Scottish ancestry in there. 5% Swedish. 5% French. That's a new one. 2% Denmark and 2% Wales. And that's as of July of this year. So I thought, okay, I've lost Norway. I had Norway in there. Norway was a little stronger at one point. But here is what the craziest thing is that it took out my Irish. I don't have Ireland in there anymore. I did have Ireland in there at one point, but now I don't. And I have an Irish and see the thing that people forget, and I'm seeing this time, and there's a few Facebook groups I belong to that deal with ancestry and DNA and all of that. And people are looking at the centimorgans, which is how much you have, which are the DNA threads that you have in common with somebody else. And they're looking at those numbers and going, well, this, what relationship does this person have to me? And I'm like, oh my gosh, how many times do you have to say this? DNA, and I'm going to say this, you'll hear this repeated time and time and time and time again. DNA proves a blood connection. It does not tell you how you are related to somebody. It just gives you the DNA. Yes, you have a DNA connection. Yes, you have this many centimorgans in common. And then there's all these tables and stuff out there that will say, well, if you've got this many centimorgans, this could be your half uncle, it could be your uncle, it could be your aunt, it could be your cousin, it could be your niece, it could be your nephew, it could be a half cousin, it could be a half sibling. And there's so many options within there. And people are getting all Twitter-pated about the fact that they can't figure out how this person is related. They don't know this person, and this person is so close to them because they've got so many centimorgans. And so like, whoa. I said, here's the thing. I can tell you that those centimorgans are just a guesstimate at best. I said, sometimes they have, and I said, I just use them as a guide. How many generations do I have to figure out to see if I have a connection to this person? I said, that's all I use it for. It's just a very loose guideline as to how I could possibly be related to this person. I said, and I know that those centimorgans are wrong because I said, it turned around and I got it told me that my aunt was my first cousin because of the number of centimorgans that we had in common. The aunt didn't appear within that centimorgan in common area. And I said, and she was my aunt, not my first cousin. And I said, then I had another one it said that on my paternal side, she was my fourth or fifth cousin on my paternal side. I said, when I got together with this person, because we connected through the messaging and Ancestry, we connected and started investigating things. And she had all of her dad's side of the tree up there. And I says, and I kept going back and I'm like, I just can't find the connection. Yes, there are some surnames on her paternal side that are similar to surnames on mine, but I couldn't find the connections. And I noticed that everything was on a vote. And I said, just out of curiosity, I said, what's your mother's name? And all of a sudden, boom, it opened up. She wasn't on my paternal side at all. She was my third cousin on my maternal side, on my mother's side of the family, third cousin. And as soon as I found that, and it's like, and this thing said that she was my fourth or fifth cousin on my dad's side of the family. Yeah. So when you're looking at your DNA results and you see these matches coming up and it says, oh, this person could possibly be your second or third cousin, or it could be your fourth or fifth cousin, or it could be and on this side of the family, on that side of the family, take it with a grain of salt. The DNA will show that you have a blood relation. You have a blood relation. You are related to that person by blood. That's it, period. Yes, they may have a certain number of centimorgans in common. Yes, those centimorgans could be, and within that range, could suggest that you might be related this way. The only way you're going to know for sure is to do your genealogy. Genealogy will show you how you are related. So the DNA proves that you're blood related. Genealogy shows how you're blood related. And then if you want to add a third thing in the world, family history That's the story side of the family. So you've got DNA shows the blood relation. Genealogy is the facts and figures. You know, that you were born on this day in this place, and these are your parents, and these are your siblings, and we were all born. You know, it's got the birth, death, it's got all the dates and places in there. The family history side, that's the story side. That's the side of finding, you know, those newspaper articles, finding out where they went to school, and building this and building up your ancestors' life to see what it was like. Did they leave any journals behind? Were they mentioned in any newspapers articles or magazine articles? Were they mentioned in somebody else's journal? So that's where the family history side comes in, is filling in the story. Okay, so DNA shows you're blood related, genealogy shows how, and the family history gives you the story. This is why it is so important to tell your story. And I can talk for another 30, 40, 50 minutes about telling your story and why it's important and everything else. But if you think about going back to our 8,100, I just got, you know, it was a mind-blowing day for me today. So anyway, with that, last one in the chocolate, we all know, is the tube. Got to go to my chocolate thing. Need some water. No dry throat. Okay, so this is the last one. Yes, I've already tasted this, I know. The other box that has the 25 snacks, I am opening that on November the 1st. And you're going to say, why are you opening it on November the 1st? Because November the 1st is the beginning of James Bond Festival. And so we're going to pick a snack a night to have while watching whatever James Bond movie we're watching that night. And those 25 snacks are going to go with the 25 James Bond movies that were done under Eon Productions with the guy Broccoli. Oh God, I can't think of his first name. Totally escaped me. Last name Broccoli. That was done under his production company, Eon Productions. And that's going to take us through the first 25 days of November. All right, so we've got the cocoa cream, a delicate treat. I have to tell you, this is better than hazelnut, than Nutella. That's not as sweet and sugary as Nutella. A chocolate treat that adorns the childhood memories of today's adults and continues to be beloved, can't talk tonight. All right, can't even read. Okay, a chocolate treat that adorns the childhood memories of today's adults and continues to be a beloved delight for kids. Squeeze and enjoy the chocolate like a playful paste. It's both fun and delicious, definitely. You can spread it on a slice of bread for a delightful treat. The perfect harmony of milk, cocoa, and hazelnut flavorings brings happiness to children and serves as a delightful, nostalgic surprise for others. Now, I have to tell you, I tried this on the very first night, and it is better than Nutella. I'm going to try. And I haven't had any since then, so I'm kind of keen to. And I didn't bring any bread or crackers in with me. I don't have any bread. I don't have any crackers. But it's just a paste. It looks like Nutella, but it tastes better. I just want to suck on this tube, but I'm not going to. But that is really good. And these are all snacks from Turkey, so they don't have a lot of chemicals in there that the US stuff has. This is better than Nutella. So if you want to grab a tube of this, you're going to have to get one of these boxes. This one's the Choco. Look at that, it's empty. This is the Choco Bliss one, and if you scan the QR code that's up there in the top corner, it will take you right to the product on Amazon. It's called something else on Amazon, but the box says Choco Bliss on it. There's 15 different chocolate bars, including one of them is this tube of a really good hazelnut spread, chocolate hazelnut spread. Oh, I so want another bit of that. And they're really, really yummy. There's only one in there that I found overly sweet, but if you had it with a cup of tea, then it was fine. It was fine. The tea took the sweetness out of it. And next Friday, which is the 1st of November, will be my first night watching the start of James Bond Festival, which is going to be Dr. No is the very first one that came out in 1962 with Sean Connery, a very young Sean Connery. And so we will be opening the box on that night, the 25 snack box, which I don't have in here with me. It's out in the kitchen. I'll be opening that and choosing one of the snacks in there to be the snack that I enjoy while watching Dr. No. I wonder if I can match the snacks to the theme of the movies. That might be taking a little too far. I'm trying to figure it out. Anyway, but with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super